That's good. Do what?
So what did we learn?
I'm here to fix the mute button.
Are we going to sign in?
All right, gentlemen. I'm sorry. Okay. As soon as I hit that, I think my phone. I don't know. He helped me out a couple of times, but I haven't never actually talked to him. He looks like he's pretty busy. Good to meet you as well. I didn't make it out that. It does sound like a military acronym. Yeah, they've been up for a while. They're ready. Yeah, they're ready.
That's right, it is. Oh yeah, you're fine. Whenever you're ready. Yeah.
You want to say that at the beginning as well? Okay. Write myself a little quick note. Just to remember that. All right, let's go ahead and start.
All right, are we good, Jason? Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and start. It's about 5 after. Thank you very much for coming and in your outlying offices. If you have questions, please text me or give the question to your BIC, and they can text me at 910-540-4562, 910-540-4562, and we will repeat the question through so everyone can hear and move forward. I would like to introduce Chris and Jeff. Xili, are you going to be speaking, Jeff? Mostly Chris? All right. Thank you guys very much, and please ask the questions. Let's get it all out. Hey, thanks.
Thanks, Alex. Like Alex said, my name is Chris Coldwell. I am from Xili, and I'm sure you guys have at least seen, or some of you may have started using it and maybe didn't. Oh yeah, good call. And didn't know that you were going to need, this training. But here we go anyway. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to start this off by just playing this video for you guys. I'm going to pause that and put it back down to a movie screen. How do I go back down there? You see here? Yeah. Looks like it might play a little easier. You are losing the video. I'm going to show you automatically pressure properly, and what you do. All of them, that's what you do now. You do the mobile system, absolutely, any subject. Right. Any website. Even if it isn't good, any print that, or even any drop like that, totally eliminate it. These will be passed and forwarded in real time. Give you the chance to work your magic in the process. Let's start off by showing how really about you powerful impact on any social site in just a second. Saving the savvy agent hours of valuable time each month. With Xili, all you do is go to the Xili Marketing site, click on share link. This works for over 100 plus social media sites. A post is an information where you can have any of your own revenue share. Now you can create a hot link in less than 10 seconds, 2 types of recap. The direct text capture, which goes and 3 other ways to immediately contact you as well. To harness the power of viral sharing, every time someone shares your post, all of that value recap is there are other powerful websites that are not online as well, specifically Facebook. Good goal is dramatically simplify and increases the recap over all the posting on Facebook. Recapture can print that works the exact same way. Even if they lack the power of viral sharing, they still can produce outstanding results. Finally, if we're tired of paying for brochures and wasting time on those, then get rid of them. We build a GPS time results. One single yard time will provide all the information the contact wants, exactly what they want to do. On their smartphone, they have using their contact information to the call. The instant they look at the product. Really also handles mental and physical problems with the same result. But we should ask our customer service the one low flat price, no matter how many listens you have, how many listens you get, really know when you use the social media app, that top process is going to read now. One last thing. Listings are usually owned by the agent and district on the best method of market home. With the really little system, you can show that you have the best available technology and you map out at every time. So a very special offer. Outstanding results guaranteed. Call 910-213-3888. This is one of our knowledgeable representatives. Or visit us online at www.myglobal.com. Thanks for watching. This is all of us here at Xili. We truly look forward to helping you grow your business. Because remember, whether you use social media or not, your buyers absolutely do. All right, so the last piece of that, obviously, your buyers do use social media, and that is true. The main piece, though, that I wanted you guys to catch from the video is the fact that this thing does work in many other ways besides just your yard signs. Now, a lot of you probably, when you first got this tool, there's been a lot of things. We came and talked with Alex and Denise last week, and she let us know a lot of the issues that a lot of people had. The biggest being that they felt like that it was advertising for other people's listings. So that's the very first thing that I kind of want to get into.
It's not. Look at it kind of like this. If you put up your own website and you pull in the IDX feed, you have to show the other broker or the other listing and agent's information the same as what we do on our feed. What you're getting, though, is this difference. Any of the properties that it's showing for another agent, they are not getting a lead sent to them as soon as someone opens it, whereas with yours, you will get that lead. To back up, let's just kind of go from exactly what Xili is capable of doing. So the signs themselves that we have, I'm sure you guys have seen them. These are the basic version of Xili. Now there's multiple ways that this system can be used, like I was saying. So to start with, we'll start with Xili. If you text Xili, it's going to send you back the 10 closest properties based off of the GPS location of your phone at that given moment. So if it's showing you the 10 closest properties and you're in that area, it shows you the property, you bring it up, it's going to have 10 different listings. Yours may be in there. If you are a Xili customer, that's the main reason that someone would be texting you anyway. They're not going to be out in a neighborhood looking around at houses if they already have an agent. More than likely, the agent would be showing them that house. So if they're texting in, they're interested in the house. So when they text in, they're going to get that list of 10 properties, and they have the ability at that point to look at all 10 of those properties. The only person that's going to get a lead based off of that is a sponsored agent. So all of you guys will be sponsored agents, so you would get a lead. If they look at your listing, it's going to instantly text message you and let you know that someone's looking at your listing, so that way you can immediately contact them back. Now, one thing, I'll go ahead and say this before we get into any further. When you contact them back, text them. If someone calls you, you don't send them a fax message back to get back to them. If they text you, text them back. Send them a text. A lot of times what's a good thing to do is to have something ready that's already saved in your notepad or somewhere so that you can just have a text that goes back to them automatically every time you just change the property address. I saw you were looking at blah, 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 123 Main Street. If you're interested, in this house or any other houses that you see on Xili, you can say it that way, or any other properties in the area, I can show you those, because at that point, they're going to see those other houses. They see other listings. They're going to be looking at them, and now it's up to you. It's yours. You're going to get that text, get back to them quickly, and that gives you the best opportunity to be able to catch them in a spot where they may or may not even have an agent at that point. And if they don't, now you have an opportunity to show them listings that you may have not even known they were ever going to look at. So with Xili, like I said, you're going to get all 10 of the closest listings around you. Now, what you guys also have the option to do, you don't have that, we don't have these signs are available to you guys, but the signs that you have the ability to print your own at any point, and you can put the keyword Seacoast. What that will do is instead of showing all 10 properties in an area, it's only going to show Seacoast properties in that area. So you can basically limit what you're showing. If you don't want to show all of your competition's properties, don't. Show it by just showing Seacoast. When you text Seacoast, it's only going to bring back the Seacoast listings in that area. You do also have the ability, if you don't want to show even just the Seacoast listing, you can narrow it down to just your own specific house. All you have to do is have them text whatever that property's MLS number is. So if you wanted to, you could even take these signs, take a sticker, print off your MLS number, and put it right over the top right here where it says Xili, and instead it would just have your MLS number for that particular property, and it would just say, text whatever that MLS number is to 86789. At that point, now they're going to only see that particular house. Now, what I will tell you is that on occasion, because we do use a national MLS feed, it will show more than one property because there are multiple MLS numbers, or sometimes there are MLS numbers that have, another MLS number in a different area that's the same. It's going to be in a different area. So if someone's looking at your property and, they're here in North Carolina and they text an MLS number and another one shows up for California, they're going to know which one to look at. So that is another way, though, that you have to use this. Now, this office, it's not as important for, but it's still something that you guys could very, very well use it. But the Jacksonville office, and I know you guys are online, that is definitely something that you guys need to look into using this for. The ability to text a military branch. Myself and Jeff were both in the military. We thought that it would be a great idea to offer something, particular, basically special for the military. So what they have the ability to do is text whatever their branch name is. So they can text USNC to 86789. They can text Navy. They can text, USCG. They can text USAF. Whatever their branch name is, they can text that to 86789 and get back the 10 closest listings to them. So it's a great way to market to military in particular to let them know, hey, you can take a look at any of the houses in your area all around your base just by sending your branch name to 86789. But what it's going to do is every time your property is in that area, you're going to get a lead off of it every time they look at it. So you have multiple different ways. Now, the social media guide, and I don't want to go through this too quickly, so I'm going to kind of back up and review that really quick. You have basically 6 different ways to use this. You can either have them text Xili, you can have them text your own specialized keyword, which is Seacoast. Xili shows 10 listings in their area. Seacoast shows only Seacoast listings in their area. They can text the MLS number. That will only show them that particular property. Or they can text any military branch, and that will show them the 10 closest listings to them based off of their location as well. They also, that's true, and this is something not for every agent, but for quite a few of you may be listening in, this is also something that is available. You can also text space, the keyword space, S-P-A-C-E. That will show you only commercial listings in your area based off of your GPS location. You can also text the keyword for rent, the number being 4, and the word rent. So all one word, but the number 4 with the word rent behind it will show only rental properties that are in the MLS. Now that's a great way for property managers, especially the property manager, to be able to utilize, hey, if you want to look at any of the listings in this area, just text for rent to 86789. If you know anybody in the area that's a renter, or if, a lot of people, what they do is they use that on Craigslist. They get people looking in there, texting for rent, they get their lead, then they contact them and see if they can qualify them for a house to buy something, because everybody in here knows that 90% of the home buyers were at some point a renter, So you have the ability to contact a lot of different ways and use this tool in multiple different ways. Now, this piece is all based off of using the MLS number. Texting the MLS number to 86789, being able to text, just send a text message with an MLS number to 86789, you can put that in anything that you're using. If you're doing any kind of advertising currently, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's print ads, if it's your own website, if it's social media. A lot of you probably are utilizing social media as well as you should be. If you're not, try it. Set up a Facebook page, set up anything that's just something small. You'll get people following you. You'll get people that are looking at it. And what better is they will actually be sharing that. There's a lot of people that have other friends. Whether your friends are the ones looking at it or not, it won't matter. If someone else sees it and they say, oh, my friend is looking for a house like that, and they share it, that is giving you one more opportunity to find somebody as a buyer. What else it's doing, though, is because of the way this is working, if you're just having someone text in to see all of the details, they're going to get it right there on their phone. You are going to know who's looking at your property. That's a big difference. You can post all day long, and 1,000 people might look at your Facebook post. Did that help you? Maybe. I mean, if they called you up or they find you and they buy it, sure, it did. But if 10 of those people looked at it on Xili because they saw that they could text in and get it, and they were very interested, or even 2 of them were very interested, well, now you know who they were and you get the chance to market to them. That's a big, big difference. So what you have to realize is that with this social media domination guide that we put together, I mean, all it really boils down to is that you're using social media. This is a very simple and very easy way for you to attract the leads and know who it is that's actually looking at your post. No sense in posting all day long, not knowing who you're actually attracting. Find out. And the easiest way to do that is with this. Now, I'm going to kind of, like I was telling Alex and Denise last week when we sat with them, I'm going to give you like, in math class when they would show you the math problem, and then at the end they go through it and they show you the easy way to do it in algebra, and it's like, oh, well, why didn't you just show me that to begin with? Well, It's a lot better for you sometimes to learn it the hard way and then see that there's actually even an easier way to do it. So what I want to show you is we'll kind of go through it somewhat quickly. This guide will be available to you. It's on the website as well. We can forward it over to Alex and he'll have it available. Him and Denise will both have it available. Denise also did let me know to let you guys all know if you did have any kind of questions, you're more than welcome to forward those to her or to Alex. And then if they don't know how to answer them, we'll pass them on to us and we'll make sure that we get them answered for you as quickly as possible. Going through this, like I said, we won't spend a ton of time on it. It's something that you'll have available to you at any point. It's basically a pictorial guide. It's not really deep reading or anything. It's very simple. It's just showing you if you don't know how to do it, here's a Facebook post, example of how to post a Facebook post, basically, and it'll walk you through it. Now, the one thing that I do want to suggest on these, and not just for Facebook, not just for Twitter, Craigslist is actually one of your bigger ones. If anybody does use it, a best way to utilize this tool, or any tool like this really, but ours in particular, the best way to utilize it is to not give out all of your information when you put your post up. If you put your address on the picture, if they don't want to go through your text, they don't have to. They can just go look it up and see what property you're talking about, and they'll look it up on Zillow or Trulia, and then you just lost your lead. Don't lose your lead. Give them a picture, put it up, and say, to check out my newest listing on your mobile device or on your mobile phone, simply text whatever your MLS number is to 86789, or call and put your phone number. Now, there's two ways that they can look at your property at that point. They can either text you or they can call you. They can see it right there on their mobile phone by texting you, and you get the lead instantly when they do it, or they can call you, and you get the lead instantly when you answer it. So either way, you're getting the lead instantly. But if you don't put it in there like that and you give them an opportunity to find out what property you're talking about, that's what they're going to do, and they're going to sidestep you. Don't let them sidestep you. The same way you can do that with any advertising, but really, there's a lot of ways, people will say, here, take a look, and won't show you the price unless you call in, Well, they're going to see the price when they look at this. So you can tell them that. You can see the full details, including price. Simply text whatever your MLS number is to 86789. Don't give away all your info, though, is all I'm saying. So with Facebook, again, like I said, this is all it's doing is going through and showing you, and most people obviously know how to make a Facebook post at this point. If you don't, like I said, set yourself up on there and get on there because you're missing out on a very key component. Very simple. See the details on my newest listing, including pictures on your mobile device. Just send a text message, text 123ABC 86789. Thanks for looking. There's the picture. There's the house. It's like, hey, I would like to see all the details on that. I'll text them or I'll call them. There's no other way for them to get that info, though. You can't give them another way, because if you do, that's what they're going to use. And every one of you know that's going to happen in a lot of cases. You're going to lose your lead because you did it. Just give them a little bit to, pull them in. So now you got Twitter, same way. It's just going to kind of walk you through how to actually tweet something. If you don't have a Twitter account and you want to set one up, it's very simple. This guide does not show you how to set up accounts. You have to have these social media accounts. If you don't, it's simple. Set one up. You can find any kind of tutorial on Google on how to do that. But set up an account, and then once you have your account set up, it's very simple. Again, it's going in, actually just typing in your little message and making it as short and sweet as possible. Add a picture, put the details, let them have that. This also will go through Pinterest. It goes through LinkedIn. It goes through Craigslist. The Craigslist one is a lot more detailed because there's a lot more steps, but it will walk you through it. If you are interested in posting in any of those and you don't know how, this will walk you through exactly how to do it, and it's very simple. Now, if you already have accounts inside of these and you don't want to, sit here and go through and actually type out a post for every single property that you have as a listing, you don't have to do that. Now, what you have the ability to do is basically use your current Xili site, your mobile Xili site, to actually share all of the exact same details on these posts. And the way you would go about that is you would log into your own Xili site. So basically, you would text And this is how I basically want you guys to all try this out, because this will make it a lot easier for you to test this and see how this tool works. When we get done, or once the questions start, if you're not wanting to listen to the questions, don't. I don't care. But if you remember anything, test this out by sending yourself a text with your MLS number. Take any of your own MLS number, whatever MLS number you want to use from your own MLS number, and send that, just the MLS number, send that to 86789 and follow the instructions. It's going to send you back a link. You're going to open the link. It's going to show you your own property. It's going to be branded to you. It's going to have your picture. It's going to have the Coldwell logo. It's going to have a little call, text, or email button. It'll show you all your property details on whatever MLS number that you're looking at. It's also going to automatically send you a text message and let you know that someone was looking at your property. That someone obviously is yourself, so it's going to be your own phone number, but you're going to see how this works. You're going to see exactly what is going to happen from the buyer's end. When they text in, this is what they see. This is what you get. You're going to see both sides of that, so it's going to be very easy for you guys to see it. So, just if you can't remember it, write it down, but if not, it's simple. Text your own MLS number. That's all you got to put in there, the MLS number in the message body. Nothing else. If you have a signature in your outgoing message, you can't have that in there. If you do, it will basically stop it from going out. It won't send it. It'll think it's something else, and it'll send you back an error message. So if you have a signature, just wipe the signature off, send the MLS number. It's going to go through just like normal. It will send you back a link. You can open that link. When you open the link, it's going to send you back a text, let you open it, see all your details. And then, like I said, it's going to send you the text to tell you that, hey, you're looking at your own property. But you'll get to see how this thing works. All of these for your social media now, going back to this, when you want to make a post quickly, if you already have a social media account, it's very simple for you to, this guide, by the way, like I said, this is all the different pages of, like, for LinkedIn, for Craigslist, for Pinterest, to show you exactly how to put these up. There's also a piece in here for print ads. Same thing, if you're going to put a print ad out, why in the world would you not want to know who's looking at it? You know what I mean? It's like the only way you're going to know who's looking at it is if they call you, which everybody in here knows how likely that is. People don't call anybody anymore if they don't have to. They're going to text you, though, and they'll text you to look at your property. And it's easy to tell them how to do it, because you put a print ad up and you say, hey, to see the full details, including the price on this, text whatever your MLS number is to 86789. Now when they do it, when they text that to see the full details on it, you get the lead instead of not knowing who's looking at your print ads. So it's pretty intuitive, really, to use this. It's simple. Now, like I was saying, going through all the different pieces, Google+, it's got virtually all these different social networks that you can use. Instagram, if some of you use that, that's a lot of, mainly for photos, which is actually a great one for real estate. So is Pinterest, because you guys can put up all kinds of little, cool ideas to put in an open house, or cool ideas for this or that, and tons of people are looking at them. Trust me, it's not just the agents. There's tons of people online looking at Pinterest to see what agents are showing in their houses without having to go to their house. But those people are going to buy at some point, so why not, pull them in, show them, hey, you want to see the full details, text whatever your MLS number is to 86789. I know I'm beating that in, but I'm really trying to do that, because it's all you have to do to get leads with this thing. Any social network, that's it. That's as simple as it is. Now, coming down here, there's about 100 social networks that this thing can actually post to for you. This is how you do it. Like I was saying before, you're going to come into your actual site. So when you guys text and look at your own property later, when you text your MLS number and send it to 86789, it's going to send you back the link. You're going to open it up. When you open it up, it's going to show you your property and all of its details. If you scroll to the bottom of that property, there's going to be a box at the bottom that's going to look just like that. It's going to have all of these different buttons. Obviously, Facebook. This one's Twitter. This is an email. This is print. And this button opens up all types of other social networks that you can post this to. When you click on one of these buttons from inside of there, you'll be on your phone. You're looking at it, like I said. When you click on it, it's going to open up your Facebook box and say, sign in. If you have an account already, you'll be able to sign in. Once you sign in, it's going to open it up, already have it posted for you that says text. It's already going to have your MLS number, and it's going to say 286-789, and you have the ability to add whatever other text that you would like to add to that. It's going to have a picture of the house, and it's going to have text, the MLS number to 86789 already on there for you. And it's going to do that for any of these social networks. Again, you also have the ability to share it via email. You can print this off from the, from the site right there. But this piece right here, opening that up, you open up 100 different social networks that any of them you can plug into, sign up, set your own account up, and very easily open up your account from your phone, sitting drinking a cup of coffee, whatever you're doing in the morning, and post all of your posts to Facebook, every property you have. Post all your listings to Facebook, post all your listings to, Twitter, to anything you want every morning, very simply by opening it up, dragging down, and pushing the share button. And as soon as you share it, it already posts it for you. Here's a picture of what it will actually look like. I believe there's one on here so you can see. It's just going to pop up like that. So you would click on there. It's going to open it up. Like I said, it's going to have you log into your account. But once it does, it's going to bring this up, and then you have the ability to write whatever you want. This is the piece that's going to come onto the bottom of your, onto your post. So this is auto-populated every single time for you. All you have to do is go into it, press that share button, and it will share it to any social media site that you're already a member of. So you don't have to worry about, remembering to go in and post text the MLS number to 86789. Just go onto your actual site, press the share button, and it will send you right there. And like I said, this is all in this media guide, so this won't be very difficult. And if it is, by all means, let us know. Ask questions, shoot Alex or Denise a question. If they can't answer it, we will. That is really it. And honestly, I mean, one of the key pieces that, Denise wanted me to make sure that I hit on, she's not here today, but she wanted me to make sure that I hit on, was like I was saying at the very beginning of the meeting, when this does show the multiple properties, when it shows 10 different listings, if you just use the Xili signs, and again, you do have the option to make it Seacoast, text Seacoast, and when you make it text Seacoast, it's going to eliminate all of the other listings except for Seacoast listings. You can have it text the MLS number, and it only shows that. But when you have it show all of the 10 properties, you're basically getting the opportunity to show other listings to people that you would have never had the opportunity to even know we're looking at a house. So you can't be upset that they see these other people's listings. You just have to compete and beat them. They're not getting the lead immediately sent to them, and you are. So you have a huge advantage. Yes, they can look at those listings if they really were truly interested. They can do that at any time anyway. It's not like we're giving them the idea. It's there for them to see so that you can sell it to them. And that's all we want to do, is give you the opportunity to sell more houses as simply as possible. And keep in mind, guys, there isn't anything for you to do other than to stick a sign in your yards in front of your listing. And please do that. I can't stress enough how important it is to have that sign in front of a listing. And if you're going to put brochures out with the listing or with your sign, put on the brochure the same thing as what I was saying. Don't give all the details on the brochure. Tell them to see full details, text whatever the MLS number is to 86789. That way, if they're going to come and take a brochure, at least you know who took the brochure, am I right? Because nobody knows otherwise. You have no idea. So keep in mind that there are multiple ways to use this. It's extremely simple to use, and you don't have any extra work to do other than whatever you're already doing. If you're advertising on Craigslist, add this into it. If you're advertising on Facebook, add this into it. If you put a yard sign out, stick one of these yard signs out with it, or add it into your own sign. You have the ability to do that. You can add this into it. But please, if you have questions on how this thing works or why, if it's just not doing something for you, let us know. We'd love to try and help you make it work for you. We want all of you to be successful. The more successful you guys are with it, the easier it is for us to make everyone else want it. Really, we use you guys a lot as like our flagship agency. So we want nothing more than for you guys to be very, very, very successful with it. Whatever that makes, takes from us, that's what we want to do for you guys. So just, let us know. And hopefully this at least explained a lot of what you may had questions on. And now I'm going to open it up to those questions if you do have some. Okay. Yeah, let me her part A question, just in case anyone couldn't hear it in the back end, plus also for the other offices, is how far out we go when we're pulling in the 10 properties. So because there's a lot of areas, maybe in a rural area, where there's not so many listings that are directly around where somebody may be texting from, and how far out is this thing going to actually pull to gather in those 10 listings? Is that correct? Okay, and then what was the second part of the question, and then we'll answer them both. Sure. And I'm going to let you answer these because that's a little more on the technical side, if you want to field that first part of the question. And then the second part of her question is how we're determining which properties. Is that? But how do you know when other? Okay. I'll answer that second.
The first part is it depends on the accuracy of the user's phone. GPS varies by cell phone strength, whether or not somebody's on a wireless signal. The first thing our tool does is read the accuracy of the phone that's submitting the request. Most of the time, especially in Wilmington, it's less than 500 feet. So the houses that are going to be returned are less than a couple miles. They're a real tight circle. In more rural areas, as Chris was saying, where the house is a little bit more spread out and the cell phone tower is a little bit more spread out, it'll go up to 5-10 miles. It can go up to 50 miles. The search will take longer. It essentially reads back the accuracy of the phone, and then it draws a little circle around it based on that accuracy. It waits a few seconds. The way that GPS works is it'll get an initial reading, but the more time that it waits, the more accurate that reading can get. So our tool waits until the accuracy is really tight, a tight little circle. And then once it gets the desired accuracy, it'll return the 10 closest listings. If it can only find 1 or 2, it'll return 1 and then swing another circle out in increments of half a mile until it gets up to 10 listings. So it won't always be 10 in listings where there aren't 10, and particularly in Wilmington there won't be because of the way that we don't get the rest of the MLS feed here anymore. It's going to be majority of your listings anyway. I hope that answers your question.
That was the first part. The second part of her question was, how would you know which properties were other properties were being shown besides your own? So when someone texts in, what other properties are coming up? Really, truly, honestly, the only way you would be able to answer that question is to go out to the house physically yourself, text it, and see what properties came back so that you would know. But you wouldn't necessarily need to know that if the buyer's interested in it and you let them know, hey, I can show you any other property in the area. If this one or any other property in the area, if they're interested in it, they're going to say, oh, can you show me blah, 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 and that at that point you're going to be able to say, sure, I can show you that house, and that's how you would know what other house that they saw in the area. And happy birthday, by the way. I heard you say earlier that. Did anybody else in here have any questions? Did you get any text in? Or okay. It's not this, and I say this all the time. I promise you guys, this might be the simplest tool that you will ever have in your real estate arsenal. It really might be. There is nothing for you to do with it other than respond to text messages. You stick a sign in front of a property. You add an extra sentence to a social media post. That's it. And then otherwise you're just responding to a text message. So this is very, very simple. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the question is, if you are texting into Xili yourself and it brings back all of the 10 properties, can you text and share all of those 10 properties instead of just sharing the one particular property that may be on your own? Currently, I don't believe there's any way to do that, is there? I mean, you could screenshot it.
If someone goes to 10 properties with other agents, but you can share each one individually.
You don't want to share them individually, though. You want to share them that. Sure. Mm-hmm.
The link, the actual text message. If I'm understanding your question correctly, when you text into our system and we send you back the link, if you're talking about taking that link and sharing it, you can, if you put that on the website and other people click on it, it'll send your number to yourself as a lead every time. The way that we capture the buyer's phone number is that we essentially encode it into the link. So each person that texts in has a unique code that stores their phone number. So if you text yourself the link and then take that link and share it, and other people click on it, they'll view the property, but they'll continually send you your lead every time. You don't want to do that. You'd rather have them initiate the action so that you can get their phone number. The specific MLS number, all links work that way. It just takes you to a page specifically for the MLS number versus the page that returns all the listings. So all of the URLs store the phone number so that we know whose phone number to deliver to you. But what I'm saying is that you'll be delivering yourself your own phone number every time, in either case. It's just the only difference between the way the MLS works and the way the standard Xili sign works is that this relies on GPS and the MLS does not. It relies on an MLS query.
Yes, the manual itself, and that was the question, will the manual be sent to everyone? Yes, it will. We're going to send it out. I'll send you this revised copy over to you, Alex, for your email. It's also on the website at all times. It's up at www.myxilimobile.com. You go onto the main site. What it will do is, once you're on the main site, the video will pop up. If you just close the video out, right behind that, there's a link at the top of the screen. Here, I can actually just bring it up and show you guys. Things. And then you're not typing. All right, so maybe it's not going to type anymore. Yeah, it's okay. When you go to the main site, though, it is right behind the video. When you close it, there's a bar at the top. It'll just say download the social media guide. You can just click the download, and it opens up a new page, and it'll have the PDF version of this guide that we had up there for you right there. The mobile sharing, there isn't one. Unfortunately, because Craigslist has, and if you post it on there, yeah, it's got like 15 different steps to be able to do it. We don't have a quick tool to be able to do that yet. They do make auto posting like Craigslist types of tools, and you could very easily just kind of slip in the same text into that. We don't have that auto posting ability to Craigslist. But like I said, if it's something that you do a lot, if you use Craigslist a lot, they do make tools that auto post for you to Craigslist. They're kind of expensive. And secondly, you could very easily, though, like I said, utilize Xili along with that. If you're auto posting into Craigslist, just take and add in the, text my MLS number to 86789. I still wouldn't show them an address, and I still wouldn't show them all my details, because if you do, they're not going to go through you.
A lot of security measures that make you jump.
But in the same
Okay. Right. Yeah, and the question is, when it shows all 10 properties, will it link you to all of those 10 properties, or will it show their information? Is that correct? And the question is kind of what we were discussing right at the beginning. And to reiterate that, I want to make sure that that is something important. Now, the 10 properties, when they show it, it's just like when you guys are bringing up, properties and pulling them in on your own websites via IDX feeds. It still has that contact information, which is buried down in the fine print. It's exactly the same thing that we have to do. We can't, unfortunately, display all 10 of the properties. If it's not your property, we can't put your listing information over the top of it. So what we do to kind of counteract that and to go around that, when those 10 properties show up, the sponsored listings will look differently. First of all, they will have view listing on it. It kind of grays them out. It looks different than what a normal listing would look like. Once you click onto that listing and open it, if you're a sponsored agent such as yourself, it's going to have your picture. It's going to have your company logo. It has 3 little buttons where they can just push a button and call you, text you, or email you. And regardless of whether they do, because you're a sponsored agent, as soon as they opened your listing, you're getting sent a text message with their lead. If they're not, if it's a non-sponsored agent and they look at it, it won't show the lead. None of that information will be in there. And they don't get sent the lead automatically either. Uh-huh. To sign in to Facebook? You're already signed up on to Xili. You're already signed up for Xili. You're already a sponsored agent through the company. So you don't need to you'll never really need to go to the website itself, other than if you want to use that social media guide that's on there. Other than that, I mean, like I was saying before, the main thing that we wanted to be able to do is make this, basically an extremely automated system for you that you don't have to manage and you don't have to go onto the site and mess with it all if you don't want to. So you don't need to go onto that website. If you want to try it to test it out, what I would do is just like I said, grab one of your own MLS numbers, send your MLS number in the message body, and send that to 86789. And as soon as you open it up and look at your property, it's going to send you back a text as well to tell you that you're looking at your property. But you'll get to see both sides of it. You'll get to see how, what a buyer sees when they're looking at the properties, how your sites will actually look, what your agent image looks like on the site. Plus, you also get to see what happens when you get a lead. So you'll know how this is going to work, what the lead is going to look like, how you're going to need to respond to it, that type of thing. Go ahead.
How do you determine that
No, that's a great question. That's a great question. The question is, if someone is texting Xili and there's multiple sponsored agents such as yourself in that area, and it brings up, 3 sponsored agents, if they touch, follow me if I'm saying this incorrectly, if they look at multiple listings in there, how will it know which of you to send the lead to? Is that correct? Okay. The way it's determining where the person is when they text is via GPS. How it's determining which person to send the lead to is which house they touch on once they look at that list of 10 properties. So when they open up that list of 10 properties, they're going to click on a house. If you're a sponsored agent, when they click on that, you're going to be sent the lead. It's going to send it, and I believe, this may be wrong, he'll have to let me know on that, but I believe it sends it to the first 3 agents. If you're sponsored agents, it's going to send it to the first 3 people. So what you have to remember at that point, is it's going to come down to the same thing as it always does in real estate. It's competition. You better be the first one to respond. So if you get a lead, don't sit on it. Text it back. Yeah, then you're going to be the only one that's going to show up at that point. Correct.
None of the individual codes are linked to our system is based on the input itself. So because it uses GPS, none of these signs are linked to you. If somebody texts Xili in a neighborhood anywhere right now and there's no phone, they're going to get that. They didn't text into your code per se. Their GPS position tells us that they're in front of your house, so yours is going to be the first result. We send the lead to any sponsored agent. It's a trade-off between, we limit it to 3 because we don't want to send the same buyer lead to 5 different agents. On the other hand, we don't want to just send it to 1 just because they happen to view the first listing and not the second. We want to reward the person for being first on the list. So it's a trade-off between sending it to everybody and sending it to just a few to make it valuable. But even texting in the MLS number, because it doesn't use GPS and because there are potential duplicates across the nation, it doesn't necessarily link them to you as the agent, but them touching the listing is what links them to the agent. Anybody who views your listing, no matter how they retrieve it, whether texting Xili, T-code, or your MLS number, you'll get it.
That answer it? Okay. And then you had a question too? Yeah, and no, and I think that's a great, great option. And what her statement or question, kind of statement at that point is that she thought that it would be a great idea to have the signs pre-printed with a blank instead of having Xili, to have it blank so that you could add Xili or you could add, your MLS number or whatever that you wanted to put on there. Kind of the way I would say on that, and we do the signs more as a courtesy, really. We thought that, hey, if I were buying this myself, I probably wouldn't use it unless I had the sign. I just wouldn't. I'd be like, I might use the social media, but I'm going to, if I have the signs, I'll put the signs up, and then I'll probably start using the social media, and I'll do all of it. So what we decided was, hey, we'll give them the signs. We'll make this even easier on everyone. If they're going to use the tool, we'll give them the signs to use. So when we first started, we already had these signs, made up with the Xili on there. I think that's a great idea. It's a great, enhancement for future. But currently, since we already have these, they're available. What I would say is, it is very inexpensive to print off just a sticker. Yeah, exactly. And that's where you're going. Yeah, if you print that sticker and yeah, and that's right. And she's right. We can definitely reiterate that because, again, with Xili, you're getting the 10 closest listings. With Seacoast, you're getting only the Seacoast listings. And with your own MLS number, you're getting your own property, and that's it. So, if you want to only show your own property so that you're getting leads back on those, that's what you would want to do. And it's not, it's not an expensive option. It really isn't. It won't look that bad if you get the right colors put on there. You put a little sticker right over the top of it, put it out there. And if you don't like that, have them print you off a few signs. They won't be that expensive either.
You're a convict. We get phone numbers through MLS data. We use those for our data, but we don't get reliable mobile numbers, and we can't determine from the number that we get whether it's a mobile number or a landline. And obviously, a texting service won't work with a landline. So I think Jonathan, Alex, they can update the email address and the phone. The 3 buttons, and we aren't displaying a mobile site. 3 buttons, the call, text, and email buttons on there, all can be customized to whatever number you want. But the number that the lead is coming to, they've all set that up for you guys. They've done all that. No. We built this so that each agent didn't have to log into a dashboard and manage another tool. So there's one centrally managed.
Completely set for you guys, and that's why I was saying, test it. Try it out. See how it works. Send a text with your own MLS number to 86789. look at how it will look, see how it is on your phone, see what it looks like for yourself, and it's going to send you a lead so that you can actually see how that part of it works as well. Anybody else have any other questions? You texted your own MLS number 28671? Okay. You have your friends say that again? Sorry. Oh, you're sending an MLS number of yours? Yes, you should. It should definitely send you. If you're sending a text with an MLS number, no, it's just a short code phone number, so it won't need a 910 on there. Jeff can probably test that or check it out for you. Did anybody else have any other questions? Sure. No, you're fine. Absolutely. Yeah, and Alex could speak to this as well. When we first got this going for you guys and we got all the signs out, there was a lot of text traffic coming in this area. Now, as everyone kind of started to pull their signs back in because they were worried that they were advertising for other properties, which is completely understandable, that text traffic slowed down quite a bit. Overall, nationwide, even since August, when we released it in beta last August, so it's only been maybe 7 to 9 months since we've actually had it in full release. It's in 48 different states. The only two that we don't have randomly are Louisiana and Massachusetts, because it's cold in Massachusetts and no idea about Louisiana. But, there's been, that's another one that he would have had to have heard, but it's like 50-something thousand text messages across the country that have been sent in. So absolutely people are using it. The way I always describe it, or the way I express it to someone when I'm talking with them on a sales call, is I'll say, have you talked to your daughter, or if they have a child, I'll say, have you talked to your daughter recently? Did you call them or did you text them? That's all that needs to be said. I mean, think about it in your own life. Do you call or do you text? That's right. I mean, it's uninvasive for you to be able to send someone a text. It's uninvasive for you to receive it. It doesn't harm you in any way. Even if you got irritated that you got one, you really wouldn't be too irritated. You just delete it or wouldn't respond to it, But it doesn't bother you to get that text. So it's just one of those things that, yeah, they're texting. And, you guys could look at the NAR statistics and things of that nature where it shows everyone is starting to look. That's where they're starting their search. If they're looking for a property, they're looking with their phone or they're looking with a tablet. Then they're going online and finding some other information about it, blah, blah, blah. So why not catch them early? When they start looking, you got them right there. As soon as they look on their phone, you got them. Anybody else? I haven't got no more text. All right. Well, then thank you guys very much. I hope it was at least informative. If you do have anything else, if you think of anything, by all means, like we said, let us know. Let Alex or Denise know. Enjoy your pizza, and thanks again. What's that? I thought that the other day. Well, you all right?
I didn't want to ask the question again, but I still don't understand on the sharing thing. I don't have to go there
Nope.
to do the sharing thing.
No. Here, I'll show you how. This way I would do it. Do you know any of your own MLS numbers off the top of your head? That one there? If I go into that way, you can't include that.